It's a personal preference, and it really depends on your appetite for risk, right?
I believe that all our audience will want to hear your opinion and your practical insight about the renowned US EB-5 program.
Yes.
So, although EB-5 requires significant higher investment comparing to the other two programs, but what do you think it remains the top choice of the investor for many Asian families seeking permanent residencies?
Well, immigration to US can be very complicated depending on the program that you choose. It can be very long as well. If you go for family reunion and then it's complicated because the program keeps on changing overnight. The government can announce that H-1B visa applicant must pay $100,000 and then get 24 hours to do so, right? EB-5 has been a very stable program since early 1990s.
Yeah.
It requires a significant investment. We're talking about now regional center projects that are located in a TEA area, an investment of $800,000, but it's stable. We know the conditions and we know the delay that are very reasonable, right? So this is attracting clients, of course, who are attracted to send their kids to US. It brings them stability. It brings them expectability, because once you submit your EB-5 application, you know that it will be processed within a reasonable period of time compared to other programs.
So what is the current EB-5 processing timeline? How long does it usually take to obtain a conditional green card and also unconditional green card?
But you first need to do your investment, then you apply for the I-526E application, which takes 8 to 12 months to get approved. Then you submit your visa application, which take a few months to be approved. So the conditional green cards, from the investment to the moment you have it, we're talking about 1.5 years, 2 years. Then you are in US under your conditional green card. 2 years after, you apply for the removal of that condition based on the job creation, I-829 petition, and that basically will take 2 years after your I-526E application approval.
What about the refunding of the investment that they are doing?
Well, this depends on the project. So it's very important for the client to choose a project that has a reasonable exit strategy, right? A lot of projects are very flashy, very good marketing, but when you're digging the financial, it's a little bit, a lot of things must happen for the money to be paid back. So financial, cap stack, who is investing in this project, how far is the construction? These are all considerations that the client must look at before investing.
So you've been working with the client as a lawyer and also with the regional center as well to work to see the EB-5 project. So what do you think that the first factor you will examine when you assess the EB-5 project regarding its safety and repayment potential of the client?
But the track record of the developer, right? So all the investments, the EB-5 investment have to be usually in form of a loan to a developer or even equity investment in a developer. You have to look at their track record. Are they reasonable? Do have good reputation? Do they have a history of not paying back their investors? So this is number one. Then number two is the location of that project. If you are building a residential building in the middle of nowhere, what are the odds of that project generating the income necessary to pay back the EB-5 investment? That's another consideration. Then is there a bank involved, or it's only EB-5? If it's only EB-5, one may wonder why a bank didn't agree to invest, right? And finally, the exit strategy. Is there already in place a structure that will guarantee the EB-5 investment, or at least will explain how the EB-5 investment will be repaid?
Okay. So if a project they chosen underperform in sale or leasing, so how are the EB-5 investor repayment priority for safeguarded in this case?
It depends on the project. It depends on the rank that the EB-5 investor has as creditor. Sometimes they are equity investors, so that means they're coming last. If they are lending the money, they have a much higher rank than equity investors. So it really depends, project by project. The devil is in the details, so it's very important to understand the structure of your investment.
So which one is more safer? Is safer, like loan or equity will be safer?
It's a personal preference, and it really depends on your appetite for risk, right? I prefer loan project because you have collaterals, and then you have a term, 5 years, 3 years. In our case, it's a 3 years investment. After 3 years, then the borrower must show up, pay back, or do something, right? Where if you are in equity, then you are basically, there's an open end most of the time.
Very, very logical point of view from a lawyer. Very protective with the client as well. So what kind of fund source are eligible to for the EB-5 program?
Well, income, company dividend, selling of real estate property, which is the most common one in Vietnam. These are all source of funds that are qualified. We are usually sitting down with a client to look at their asset, what are the easiest for them to liquidate, and then we will document that process.
So in your opinion, what concerns most the Vietnamese investor regarding the EB-5 program? The capital risk, the lengthy processing timeline, or the likelihood of obtaining a green card?
All of this.
All
of this. So they will say, well, the important is the visa first. It's true, but it's not true. So they want the visa, they want their money back.
Yeah.
And they don't want to wait 10 years to get it. So these are all very important considerations for Vietnamese clients.
Yeah.
Right? And they have to sign piles of contracts. And at the end of the day, they don't really care. They want their money back and they want their visa. So it's very important for anybody who's involved in EB-5 in Vietnam to take this into account.
Yeah. Actually, when we have something, we want something more and more and more and more.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the people, because they do not just that simply satisfies with one thing. When they get it, they will get another one.
That's right.
Yeah. So clearly, EB-5 is not just about the 800,000 US investment. It is a strategy decision also that require investors to carefully define their needs, objective, and financial capacity, and other critical factors as well.
Correct.
In this. So returning to the Asian investor, because I know that you've been working with Asian investor for many years. Which group asks the most question? It's just personal question, like Vietnamese, Chinese, Indians.
Vietnamese, by far. Which is great. The Vietnamese are very detail oriented. They are educated. There are some of them. They will read the documents and they will ask tons of questions, which is fine, which we really welcome.
So what are they most concerned?
But it depends on the program. It's all about the qualification. First of all, they want to make sure that they qualify, right? They are looking at cases where clients were not accepted, and they want to make sure that this is not them. So they're very careful about choosing the program. And then after that, they want the process to be quick. So they want to understand, what is the procedure for each program. And when it's about an investment, then they really want to understand how the money will be returned to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is their top priority? Like they want to focus in education, in legal services, legal security, the taxation, or travel freedom mainly?
It depends on the segment. Education is always there, right? Family is definitely priority number one. Asset allocation becomes more and more a priority, more and more a topic during discussions with investors. I would say these are the two main issues that are discussed.
So many investors has a fear that being misled because there are sometimes fake projects or unreliable consultant. In your opinion, what is the most important criterion to select the right advisor?
Well, their track record. How long have they been in this industry, in this market? Usually, these are cycles, right? So cycles of 5 years. Sometimes they are downturn in cycles. You see if this player has been there for many years, that means he's been through a few cycles already. So I would say this is something that they should look for. And then if they ask questions and they don't have the answer, usually that should trigger some questions.
Yeah, I agree with you because time is the most valuable assessor for somebody or some business. I believe that Eternal is also has a very long history in immigration and investment business. As for us, BSOP as well, we have a history of 15 years working in this kind of business, going through COVID period, many financial downtime and all the time is going. So at least that will show that we still have a stability to stay in the market for that long. I think that's the most important to assessing the advisor and the consultant in this case. So thank you, Mr. Nicolas, for today's sharing, because such practical and very valuable perspective from your side. So to conclude for today Btalk, do you have any final message that you want to share with BSOP audience?
Well, for immigration, if you have the gut feeling you need to do it, usually it's time for you to do it. It's never a good idea to wait. So the team of BSOP, I'm at their office right now. It's a very dynamic team. A very important team as well. Do not hesitate. Step by the office, ask all the questions you need, and you'll get the service.
Thank you very much for today's meeting, and I hope that see you in the next Btalk.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thưa quý vị, trong buổi trò chuyện với anh Nicolas ngày hôm nay thì chắc là mọi người đều có thể thấy được là bài toán đầu tư di trú không chỉ là vấn đề câu chuyện về đi hay ở, cũng không phải chỉ là đích đến, mà nó còn là phương tiện để anh chị có thể nhìn được thế giới, mở rộng các cơ hội về tài sản, về quyền lợi di trú, giáo dục cũng như là tương lai của thế hệ tiếp theo. Cảm ơn anh chị đã theo dõi cuộc trò chuyện của BSOP ngày hôm nay với anh Nicolas và rất là hy vọng sẽ gặp lại mọi người vào những chuỗi tiếp theo của Btalk. Xin cảm ơn và hẹn gặp lại.